What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. It is Sunday morning. Today's date exactly, I don't even know what today's date is. August 11th, 2019. I'm still in San Francisco, actually Santa Clara to be exact. I don't know why it says post-game reaction because I did actually change that. I called it the Sunday Blues. Let's see. Let's update this real quick. But what's up with you guys? Let's go ahead and get your seats, get your phones on, get your batteries on. Let's get this thing cracking, man. How'd y'all sleep last night? How'd y'all sleep last night? Let me know. After that game. Let me just change this title real quick. It didn't update for whatever reason. I apologize. All right, what up with you, Buddha? Bubba, what up with you? What up with you, Miss Naomi? How you doing? DC girl, Wendy, how you doing, Miss Wendy? My scout, how you doing? Tip ZZ, what's up with you, man? Ricky Star Breezy, what up with you, baby? Wendy, how you doing? Naomi, how you doing? I see you again in there. White and Russians trash need to go. Okay, hey man, let's get some shares on. Let's get some aggressive shares on real quick. Once we get them shares up, then we'll go ahead and take off. I had a really good. I did a show last night at Habit. So if you guys were able to hear that show, go ahead and check that out. If you were not able to hear that show, then you could definitely check it out. It was the last video on the show. Got some updates. How are you guys hearing me right now? Can you guys hear me good? You guys can hear me good right now? I'm still in the hotel. Hey, shout out to the plug, man. Putting me in this nice hotel, man. Like this, it got nice. Like this is the Hilton Honors. So shout out to the plug for, this is a really good, really nice hotel. Really enjoyed myself last night. Actually, I really didn't enjoy myself last night because we lost. But I'm just saying the bed that I slept in was very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? All right, you can hear us? You good? All right, for sure. So let's take off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to the people that's watching on YouTube. I got 2 people that's watching on YouTube. I appreciate you guys too, guys and lady. All right, so let's start. All right, so I sat up last night. Shout out to my bald head scout. His name is Jose. We call him the bald head nut. He used to do shows with me. He used to do shows with me a lot last year. But he's a single father out there, so he handling his business, man. But his schedule ain't as good. But long story short, man, I had a conversation with my boy Jose, the bald head nut, last night for about 2.5 hours, and we just kind of, between the two of us, just broke down everything that we saw in this game offensively. I'm gonna do some offense today, but then I'm gonna probably do that defense tomorrow. You guys, I like trying to break it up because then I don't have to rush to do the whole team in 2 shows. You know what I'm saying? Not in 2 shows, but I don't have to do the whole team in 1 show. You know what I'm saying? Then we ain't gotta miss nobody. You know what I'm talking about? So if you try to do the whole team in 1 show, there's gonna be some folks you're gonna miss, especially in this preseason. You know what I'm saying? So let me make sure this is up, make sure everything is up and running. The service over here is trash, man. All right, but offensively, let's start with these wide receivers. We want to start with these wide receivers. All right, there we go. We back up and running. Okay, hey man, I need you guys' help. I got 67 people in here and I only got 16 shares. Like, come on, man. Somebody didn't sat through the whole service, enjoyed them, then said 15 amens, and you ain't gonna put $1 in the offering plate. Come on, man. Come on, man. Give your boy a share. If you enjoy what you see here, share. If you really enjoy what you see here, become a scout. But at minimum, make sure you share. We should have at least 61 shares for each person that's watching, right? That's what I'm thinking, right? All right, so let's look into this. Let's get on to the get on. Ready? All right, so I got some numbers that I'm gonna spit out. I got some numbered players that I'm gonna talk about first, and then after I talk about those numbered players, we can talk about the offense as a general. You know what I'm saying? So right out the gate, my wide receivers. I'm gonna look at my wide receivers first. So 15 and 16 were by far my most productive wide receivers last night. 15 being Devin Smith and 16 being Cedric Wilson. I'm gonna be honest, you guys know I'm a big John V. Johnson fan. Why? Because he's a scout. He's a scout just like me. He wears his blue band. Actually had it on last night. So yeah, man, that was actually pretty dope too. But I'm a big fan of John V. Johnson. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, those two drop, man. They gave this kid 8 targets last night, my boy John V. So they do like him. He just got to catch them things. Out of those 8 targets, he dropped 2 of them, hauled in 3, and then the other 2 were uncatchable. So just got to do better at getting his hand on the ball. But as far as the wide receiver core, the best 2 wide receivers last night were by far was 15 and 16. And also I'm gonna notice you guys something. 16 is not a rookie. 16 is Cedric Wilson. Remember last year we interviewed him at training camp, and the first day we interviewed him was his first day of training camp. The second day we seen him, he had a torn cup or something on his arm, and he was done for the season. So, you know, he is not a rookie. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't played in the NFL. But he's not a rookie. Why? Because he's been in an NFL strength and conditioning program. And he's been in our offense, you know, learning our things and learning the nuances for the last 2 years. I mean, because last year he still was out there. He still had his legs. You know what I'm saying? So it showed. Like, you could tell that Devin Smith and you could definitely tell that Devin Smith and Cedric Wilson were veterans. Like, they had that veterans preference on the field. Like, they had it. Like, when they were going in and out of their cuts, moving around. And the cool thing about it is Devin Smith is like Michael Crabtree, in my opinion, where he doesn't seem like fast, but he's like very, very smart football player. Like, in and out of his cuts and things like that. So, I mean, they remind me of each other a lot. All right. Okay, bam. So yeah, Reggie, you know, that was that was the first thing. So my first receivers, 15 and 16, were definitely look like they're pro ready. One thing I would say about John V. Johnson, hey, you left your tablet, OG. You left your tablet. Okay. You're welcome. Yeah. One thing I will say about 81 is, as far as just route running and being able to get open, my boy John V. Johnson has a knack for getting open. Like, I totally see why the Cowboys fell in love with him. He just got to catch the ball. But he has a knack for getting open, because there were several times in the back of the end zone, especially on those not the corner plays, but the post corners, he was wide open. And I honestly think if you have a guy like Dak Prescott that knows how to put the ball where it's supposed to, I definitely think one of them dudes would have scored last night. I think he would have scored last night, because 81 has a really good knack for getting open. Just got to make sure that he catches the ball, man. That third down was huge, baby. That third down was huge, man. That had me scratching my arm, man. That third down was huge. Like, those are the type of plays that you make it in the NFL on. You know what I'm saying? And that was a huge drop. But one thing I like about John Vay is he didn't let it get in his head, and he came back out there and made some plays. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say about this wide receiver core is I am very excited about this wide receiver core. Very, very excited about this wide receiver core. Because we have 2 guys, 15 and 16, who are going to be sleepers. Michael Jeezy, baby. Like, boy, did y'all see 1-3 out there balling? Like, the wide receiver core is nice right now. Like, it's going to be some guys get cut from this wide receiver core that are going to go elsewhere and make teams. That's what I believe. Why? Because there were guys who looked decent last night despite the quarterback play. You know what I'm saying? One thing I like about the Rams is the Rams got a pretty darn good second. They got a pretty damn good back secondary core, so we should be able to see some good looks. But 15, 16 looked really good as far as just as a whole. And then my boy 81 looked really, really good getting open and getting in and out of his cuts. He does a really, really good job of getting open. You got to think like this. All these guys that I just named you, 15, 16, or 8, if they're ever playing, it's going to be like a 5-receiver set, 4-receiver set. You know what I'm saying? So with that, they'll be on like 3rd and 4th corners. If these guys, 15, 16, and 81, are on 3rd and 4th corners, they're going to eat, man. They're going to eat. All right, let me say something, shout out to some people. What's up with you, El Fantissimo? What's up with you, Bude? What's up with you, Naomi? Bob, what the heck? What's up with you, man? He's the only thing I didn't like about Johnson was the body catching. Good point. But, you know, I see that a lot with rookies. Like, you're going to see that a lot with rookies in general. You know what I'm saying? Carrie, what's up with you? DJ, the host. My number one thing about rookies is catching the ball, period. Like, I don't care if you body catch it. I don't care if you hand catch it. You got to catch the ball first. You know what I'm saying? You can, you know, the first mountain you cross is catching the ball. Then we can work on how you catch the ball so that you can be better in your routes and stuff like that. But first thing you got to focus on is getting the ball in your hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's point blank and simple. Devin Smith is nice, definitely. Devin Smith, I mean, you got to remember, Devin Smith is a guy who came in the NFL. He had a second-round grade on him. Jets took him. Had injuries. He had injury problems, and that's part of the reason why he is in the position he's in right now. But you just don't lose all that. A second-round wide receiver. That's a guy who should be starting in this NFL in the next in his second or third, maybe in his first year. You know what I'm saying? So Dallas Cowboys did a really good job in these free agent picks, guys who they picked up who are actually contributing. Another guy that I also liked, number 11. My boy number 11, he's a young Tavon Austin, man. Like, he's definitely a young Tavon Austin. Hey, I want to ask you guys a question. Did you guys, that's my boy Reggie Davis. Did you guys see how they were using Tavon Austin as like an X receiver? Like, they were literally lining him up on the ends by himself. Like, I thought that was weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I like it because of his speed, but one thing I knew about it, one thing I knew for sure, is that he wasn't getting the ball. Like, when he was that far deep away from the quarterback, I just knew he wasn't getting the ball. I knew he wasn't getting the ball. Why? Because the further he gets downfield, the smaller he gets. The further he gets downfield, unless he is wide open, the harder it is to hit him. So that's why when he was lining out far out, I knew Tavon wouldn't get in the ball. I knew it. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. They either used him as a decoy or they used him to try to get that deep slant in. You know what I'm saying? Which basically you got to win right off the muscle. But my boy Reggie Davis, in my opinion, I think Reggie Davis can pretty much do everything Tavon Austin can do. I don't know if he can do everything. I don't know if he can do everything that Randall Cobb does, but I know he can definitely do everything Tavon Austin does. So I think Tavon Austin just got a little bit more competition at his spot. Let's see. Okay, let's look at now. Let's talk about this. We always talk about the players. We talk about the players a lot. The players get the bad and the good. But do you guys think that these coaches are getting evaluated while they are coaching? Do you think they're getting evaluated? Do you think Kellen Moore got evaluated for his performance last night? Oh, no, I'm asking you guys. Do you guys think he should get evaluated on his performance last night? If you guys say yes, if you guys say yes, then we're gonna talk about him for a little bit. If you say no, then I need you to slap yourself. Okay. Good morning, Yolanda. How you doing? Tony says they better now. Okay, so this is my thing, right? We do all this evaluations of players, breaking them down, telling them what they didn't do and what they did do, right? But I think somebody needs to evaluate these coaches, right? I think somebody needs to evaluate these coaches. What you think, Bob Heck? Bob Heck says yes. Wendy says yes. Jay says yes. Brandy says yes. Devin says pay Zeke or season dies. Says yes. So Sasha says yes. Okay, so let's evaluate this play calling, right? So this is my thing about play calling, right? Kellen Moore, this is your first. I know it was a preseason game, but even though it's still a preseason game, I would have thought that someone would take pride and would still want to win their first game. Now, I get it. It's a preseason game. I get it. It's a preseason game. But my thing is, like, wouldn't you still want to look good in your first game? Like, does it benefit you at all not to look good in your first game? I don't see how that doesn't benefit Scott Linehan and not Scott Linehan, but Kellen Moore, and make him feel more confident about what he's doing at practice if he doesn't look good in his first game. Now, this is my thing with Kellen Moore that I saw last night. I see way too many one-on-one win plays. And a one-on-one win play is this. A one-on-one play win is this. That is when it's like on that third and sixth play. A one-on-one win is this, is when you have one primary target on the play. That means you're only giving yourself one option. Now, you have other guys that are going to do curls, and we're going to talk about that too. But we need to spread this offense out. Give your quarterback, whoever it is, especially if they're not playing well, give them an opportunity to have more guys going wide. Like, that's the only thing that pisses me off about this offense is like we have too many, our play design is too predicated on individual guys making plays. Like, and that's not how it works, because we had so many, like there was a lot of plays that were dependent on the offensive line having to hold up their blocks so that he can get this ball off to the wide receiver that's streaking down the sidelines. Like, we need to open up our offense. And guess what? You think the Chiefs showed you their entire offense? Like, that's the thing that that fans need to realize is, guess what? The Chiefs looked good last night, and they probably didn't show you their entire offense. Like, you can still look good and not give away your entire offense. Like, you should still look good at execution. And then my thing is this. If this isn't our offense, why are we practicing bad plays? How do we benefit by practicing plays that we're not going to play in the field, in the game? Like, I do not see that at all. I don't see that at all. It does not benefit the Dallas Cowboys. It does not benefit our offense to be out there running. And like, think about this. I saw that same motion play that they used. They try to run the quarterback, but the running back right behind the wide receiver. That's the same play that we failed against the Rams on that 4th and 1. We did it last night twice with John Vane. Like, it's the same play. Now, my thing is this, right? You have brand new players in there. Brand new players on your offense out there. So why are you teaching them old plays that don't work? Like, and that's my thing. If this isn't our offense, why are we training guys how to use plays that don't work? Why are we using last year's garbage? Like, that makes no sense. And hey, that was a shout out to my boy Jose, man. My old boy Jose, the one that picked that up, man. Why are we practicing your preseason games? And think about this. If you were an offensive player, would you even want to get evaluated on plays that you're not going to use? Like, that's dumb. Like, that's dumb. That's like if I was going to be a race car driver, and I'm gonna go do I'm gonna test my car in a car that I'm not even gonna use. That makes no sense. You wanna use the car that you're actually gonna use. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't see how it's beneficial to teaching these kids, these rookies, and these free agents plays that we're not gonna use. Like, you should still be able to run your base offense. And I'm gonna tell you guys this: if that was our base offense, there's not gonna be a lot of change. And if that's the case, we are going to need Ezekiel Elliott ridiculously. You want to know why? Because the offense that we ran last night is predicated on a running back getting 4 to 5 yards. If we're running that offense, it's going to be predicated upon us running the ball very well. You want to know why? Because we don't throw the ball deep. This is what we don't do. Like, we don't do that. Like, we don't stretch the field. And so since we're not going to stretch the field, boy, you had better be able to run it. And just to talk about these running backs for a little bit, man. My boy Tony P, right? I like Tony P. I like what he's going to be able to do in the NFL. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. For us to call him a poor man's Alvin Kamara, we need to slap ourselves for that. Because he's not. Alvin Kamara is one of the better running backs in the NFL. And I didn't see that last night. And I'm going to give you guys a tip. Alvin Kamara has never in his career since being in the NFL been a single starting running back. You want to know why? Because they always had Mark Ingram. Even he has been a change of pace running back. He's just been a really good one. But Alvin Kamara isn't even a 23, 25 carry running back. And I'm going to be honest with you. I like Tony P, but I like what he can do with Zeke. I don't want them, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want the Dallas Cowboys to try to make Tony P our 23 to 24 carry running back. He's gonna get broke up. Like, he's gonna get broke up. I'm just, and one thing I like about Tony P is if there's no contact on the line, he's gone. But if there is contact on the line, he's going down. And guess what? That is normal for a rookie drafted in the 4th round. That's normal. The only thing you can expect that from is a Saquon Barkley, an Ezekiel Elliott, guys who are drafted high in the NFL draft. Those are the type of guys you're expecting to break tackles. But also think about this. And also, this is something else that people keep saying. Oh, but if we put Tony P back there with that offensive line, bro, that offensive line played last night, and guess what? That's not the offensive line that's going to be predicated to make a rookie running back look like a Zeke. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, y'all. In a perfect world, what I would like to see, and if they do it like this, we will have the most dangerous running back core in the NFL. Put Zeke as your starter. Put Weber as your backup, and put Tony P as your flex. Devon, you're absolutely right. Devon, you are absolutely right. He says him and Zeke will be a problem together. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And then I'm going to tell you guys, I said this last night on my show, because there was some dude on here talking. I had my boy Mike Weber's sister on here, and I had some dude on here talking about Mike Weber's trash. And what y'all heard me when I said all Mike Weber need to do is understand that line on that opposite side is not blocking. He needs to put his foot in the dirt and turn it the other way. And what did he do? That's exactly what he did. And I said, as long as if he does that, he's going to have a big spin play just like he did in training camp. Did I not tell you guys that? And what happened? That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. And can I get a couple more hearts for that? I mean, that was pretty crazy, right? I mean, that's damn near like calling a lottery. Actually, it's not with two B's. It's actually Weber. So I don't know if they spell it Weber or if they spell it Weber, but it's only with one B. But yeah, man, this is, that's what I see. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see Ezekiel Elliott, your starting running back. I would like to see Mike Weber as your backup running back, and I would like to see Tony P as your flex. The reason why I want to see him as your flex is because then you can bring him on as a wide receiver. Like, I don't want my backup running back out there trying to catch passes. I don't want that. I want my backup running back over there taking carries. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Mike Weber is. He's a true backup. He's a true running back, backup running back. And he looks and feels like Zeke. And when I'm gonna tell you, man, Mike Weber out there, he had that turf tape on his, man. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was Zeke for a minute. I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my Tony P. I love him, but he's not an every down back. He's not a run through the trenches, get you 1 yard consistently over and over. That's not him. That's not his game. And Dallas Cowboys don't make that his game. That's not even what you drafted him for. That's why you drafted Mike Weber. So that's when I hear people saying that they need to use Tony P as an every down back, that irritates me because I'm like, yo, well then why did you draft Mike Weber then? Like, we didn't draft Mike Weber to be a change of pace. We drafted that dude as a real running back. Real running back. Another thing, I kept telling you guys that the Dallas Cowboys weren't even running Tony P like that in practice, right? Remember, I was the guy that told you guys that the guy who was getting the most carries at practice was who? Darius Jackson. And what happened? Darius Jackson got most of the carries last night. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's see. Play calling was too predictable. Too many one-on-one win plays. Too many plays where you had to win on your route in order to be successful. There was not enough option routes in there. I'm gonna be honest with you, when you don't have good quarterback play and you don't have good offensive line play, you can't be doing one-on-one wins all day, because what if the offensive line doesn't win? Then that means, guess what? Your wide receiver probably not gonna have enough time to get open. This offense needs to be more creative. And my thing is this: if we're not, we don't got to be creative in the middle of the field, but you are not going to tell me that they were okay with just kicking field goals last night. You're not going to tell me that. You're not going to tell me that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I do not believe that these boys have been in training camp for 2 months, the month and a half training in the heat, West Coast driving, so that they can score 9 points. I don't believe it. I do not believe that was the game plan coming into this game. The game plan coming into this game was to score points. And we didn't. And we did it. Somebody asked me yesterday, West Coast, does the lack of not scoring in the red zone, does it scare you? And I'm gonna keep you all the way 100. You know what I said? Yes. You want to know why? Because anytime that I have a problem when Zeke is on the field, and then I have that same problem next year, that lets me know that something in translation didn't stick. Because if anything, they should be practicing the new red zone plays. You want to know why? Because they got to get good at those. Zeke hasn't even been at practice. So if he comes back and your red zone still may not be good. Like, there's no reason we should not be practicing in that red zone. We didn't even really take shots in the red zone. I know it was you, E. Kush. I didn't know if you was on here. It was E. Kush. My boy E. Kush is the one that asked me about that. So, am I a little, right now, I ain't gonna say concerned, but I am a little concerned about this play calling. Like, I'm not even gonna front to you, because we do not, in my opinion, we don't have the athletic teams on offense to overcompensate bad play calling. Because think about this, we didn't have it last year, and we had Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, and Amari Cooper. And bad play calling was still a major factor last year. So we need as many practice shots in the red zone as possible. So for us to look good, what's up with you, Alfred? For us to look good in the red zone, I'm sorry, that's a problem for me. Like, that's a problem for me. Like, not looking good in the red zone, that's a problem for me. A kicker not being able to kick field goals, that's a problem for me. Like, bro, I don't care if it's some stuff, it doesn't matter. If it's preseason, practice, there's just certain things in life you want to look good at. And kicking the ball is one. Another one you always want to look good at is in the red zone. Because no matter what you do, you are working too hard to get to the red zone and not be able to score. You can't even reward yourself. Like, you reward yourself, you go 80 yards, reward yourself by getting a touchdown. Not the Dallas Cowboys. Then think about this. On top of that, your kicker ain't even making the damn kicks. That's horrible. That's horrible. 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 My boy Dwayne says taking shots in the red zone. We didn't even take shots downfield. But I mean, we did take some shots downfield, but it wasn't enough. Like, it obviously wasn't enough. And more importantly, y'all, we should be practicing the stuff that we're practicing. Like, we should be practicing the stuff that we're practicing. And our red zone was such an issue last year that we should be practicing that. Like, the commentators should not be saying this, the same, you know what I'm saying? They should not be saying stuff like that. And I just feel like the Dallas, like Kellen Moore, bro, like, I'm sorry, Kellen Moore, you didn't make me feel good about what you're going to be able to do with this offense. I'm sorry, you didn't do that last year. Like, you didn't. And the main problem that I had with the Dallas Cowboys offense was what? Red zone. Like, if you can't help us get in the red zone, bro, then why did we let Skylar Linehan go? Like, you know what I'm saying? I know he was bummed, but why we let him go? Milton says, come on, man, y'all reaching what you expected. Milton, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that you don't watch much football. So if you don't think this preseason game is important, log off, bruh. I apologize. Everybody on this feed thinks that preseason games are important. So if you don't think preseason, go somewhere else with that. I'm not knocking you, Milton, but I hate comments like that, because that's that non-committal crap. You know what I'm saying? Because them is the same fans who were saying, don't worry about preseason last year. And guess what? We started the season 3-8. You guys, that's exactly what happened. We started the preseason games. Remember last year? We're the same people that said, oh, it's just preseason. Okay, can I ask you a question? If it's just preseason, then why did the play calling didn't look good? Like, they didn't have to catch. Like play calling still could have been good. Like, play calling still could have been good. Like, they could have just called a really good game, and they just could have just dropped every pass. Like, I get it. Like, it's preseason. They drop passes in preseason, but why did the play calling look bad? Like, answer that. Why did the play calling have to look bad? Like, the execution could have been horrible. I'm not knocking that, because these are players. You know what I'm saying? But the coaches aren't getting hit. Like, they don't have nobody running at them. So why did the play calling look bad? Like, and then another question. My quarterback coach, John Kitna, I love you, bruh, but are you only getting paid to coach Dak? I need to know before I go all the way in on you. Because it looks like our quarterbacks, our backups, have had no coach. Like, I just need to know, is John Kitna only required to coach Dak? Because if he is, then I understand. Like, I understand. I totally understand. If we're only paying John Kitna to coach Dak, I understand. But I thought it said quarterback coach. quarterback coach. So that means he should be coaching all my quarterbacks, right? So why did 2 out of my 3 quarterbacks look like not good? Why did 2 out of 3 quarterbacks not look good? It's funny too, because the same people who say I don't pay attention to preseason be the same people that say they don't pay attention to the training camp. Be the same people, if I ask them name all my wide receivers, couldn't do it. Ask them name my cornerbacks, couldn't do it. Those are surface fans. And I understand. This is just not the feed for you. If you're a Surface fan and you don't care about preseason, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the show for you. I am not the blogger for you, because every single practice, like, bruh, you don't think that Thursday practice last week when I drove 107 miles was important? I thought it was. Used all my gas in my tank to get there. That was pretty important. Like, we're not going to training camp so that we cannot see something execution in a game. Like, come on now, like it's easy for people to say that when you're sitting at home watching the game on your TV for free. Well, you pay $60 on your cable. Man, we drove 432 miles. You're gonna tell me, oh, don't worry about it, it's just a preseason game. Man, slap yourself. I drove up here to see these guys execute. At least they could have called good plays. I'm not even knocking John V. Johnson for dropping the ball. I'm not knocking anybody for the play. I'm not even knocking Mike White. I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking none of the players. But what I am knocking is play calling, bro. Them is coaches. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can call good plays. Now, they may not work, but, bro, I didn't even see good play calling. It's 3 times we did one-on-one plays. One-on-one plays on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. What are you doing? You wouldn't even do that on Madden. Think about this. If you're playing Madden and it's 3rd and 6, are you going to run a play that only gives 1 person open, or are you going to run a play that gets 4 people open? You know what you're going to do? You're going to go out there with 5 wide receivers and hope somebody gets open. Like, they could have did that. They didn't even do that. Play calling was terrible. Like, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And that's just being real. And guess what, y'all? The best thing about this is football now. So guess what? We take everything week by week. So guess what? It can get better next week. It can get better next week. But I'm saying this week it looked terrible. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dak looked good. Play calling still looked bad when he was in. Because guess what? They got down there and stalled twice. And, oh my God, bro. The freaking 3rd down play was one of the ones I'm talking about. Like, Dak looked better. He looked good. But the play calling. Like, the same plays. And this is my thing, fam. This is my thing. If this is not our offense, why are we teaching these kids bad techniques, we're teaching them a bunch of stuff they're not going to use? That's dumb. That makes no sense. Same play calling. That's what I saw. I'm sorry. That's what I saw. I saw same play calling. Also, all that, when I'm at training camp, I'd be ranting and raving. About the motioning, how much motion they be doing, how much audibles they doing. No options, no option plays last night, no audibles, none, no motion. The only time we motion is when it's going to the opposite side of the play. I'm just being real with you. If you didn't know that, go watch the film. Go watch the game. The only time the Dallas Cowboys motion is if we are going to the opposite side of the play. That's it. Then my boy says Dak went 4 for 4. He was awesome. Yeah, and we had 26 yards. Congratulations. No motions. All the passes that Dak threw were one-on-one plays. They were plays designed for one person to catch the ball. Like, bruh, that is not a high-scoring offense. That is not an offense that's going to score you a lot of points. Unless you're throwing it to Cooper every single time. Like, that is not an offense that's going to be conducive to scoring 26, 27 points. I'm sorry. Like, that's an offense that you do when you have, like, a Megatron, like the best wide receiver in the NFL, and you know he's going to win 8 or 9 of his catches. Like, that's the type of stuff we do. That's what we did when we had Dez. A bunch of individual one-on-one plays. Now, my thing is this. They said that Dak didn't like that. They said Dak's going to throw the ball to whoever's open. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't see that. I see them connecting. I see them connecting, making completions. This is not a game of completions. This is a game of scores. Like, I would have rather seen Dak go 3 for 4 and have better drives down the field. But if you're a fantasy football player, yeah, good job. Great job. He was 100%. You know what I'm saying? Offense needs more work. It needs more work, period. The offense needs more work. And you know what's funny? Jason Garrett said in a press conference the other day, what did Jason Garrett say about this very offense? He said, Jason Garrett's exact words were, we are nowhere near ready. That's what he said. He said, we are nowhere near ready. That's what Jason Garrett said. It was like Thursday night. He said, we're nowhere near ready. And guess what? It was really, really evident. Hey, what's up with you guys? I got my YouTube up now. Hey, what's up with you, Kimbo, Montana 808, Copperface, what's up with you, El Jefe? Hey, make sure you guys hit that like button. Hey, if you guys want to support, make sure you go to YouTube right now. Hit West Coast Cowboy. That is West Coast Cowboy. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do film breakdown and stuff like that, but a lot of that stuff is proprietary, so I'm trying to stay away from it in 2019. I want the basis of what I do to be me talking to you guys, not me putting a video on and talking over the video. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? That's not trying to be the basis of my work. My basis of my work is going to be me educating you guys on what the heck is going on. BG just said, hit those like, I appreciate you. But yeah, man, last night, Kellen Moore, if he gets evaluated, he's not going to be happy with his evaluation. He shouldn't be, because he didn't play well. He didn't coach. If Kellen Moore is evaluating himself on how he played as far as calling plays, he didn't play well. He didn't call plays well last night. Also, there was no sense of urgency. None. We're down 8 points. We can still come back, and you got dudes walking on the field. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, yo. Like, that shows a lot of the mentality. Like, that shows them a lot of the mentality of your team when you're down and you have players walking. Like, you have players walking and you're down, walking. Like, what are y'all doing, bruh? Like, what are y'all doing? Backup quarterbacks walking down the field. Cooper Rush did it going into halftime, and Mike White did it on his final drive. What are you doing? Then I ain't gonna lie, he just absolutely just missed the touchdown. It is what it is. But just walking down the field, bro. The clock just ticking. No sense of urgency at all. And guess what? That has to do with your coaching. That has to do with your coaches. Guess what? When them hot boys run, when them hot boys come on the field, they're running every single time. They're moving every single time. There is a different mentality from the defense than the offense. I'm going to just keep it all the way 100 with you. Like, you go watch the next time a defensive player goes onto the field. He's sprinting on the field. Bro, you had these dudes walking to the other side of the field. I'm like, bro, do you guys not see the time going down? No sense of urgency. No sense of urgency. Three things I want to talk about real quick. I'm going to just read that y'all read. See this? Stay away from the damn curl routes. Oh my God, can we get rid of that play? 4 curls. Can we get rid of it, please? 4 curls. Can we please get rid of that play? For anybody that's saying that, and hey, honestly what I'm going to say. For anybody that's saying we going to be okay, instead of saying we going to be okay, put the information on why we're going to be okay in the comment box. Because you know what you sound like? You sound like the same people last preseason who were saying the exact same thing, and we started off 3-5. Like, that's the thing that kind of irritates me about Cowboy fans is we refuse to learn from our past. Like, we just refuse to learn from our past. We look at our past as a coincidence instead of a learning statement. Like, you should be looking at your past and saying, yeah, we don't want to do that because we saw what happened when that happened, and guess what? It didn't work out good for us. But yeah, and still, we're not going to learn from that. We're just going to say, oh, we'll be okay. Relax. No, you relax. Instead of being relaxed, you get excited. Because if you guys just think this stuff is just going to, like, a lot of you guys think under the impression that it's just going to magically be better. And this is my thing. If it's preseason, why didn't the 49ers look bad on offense? You know what preseason looks like? A lot of penalties. But why can't you score in preseason? They scored twice on preseason. Their offense scored twice. Touchdowns. So do you think the 49ers are saying, oh, those touchdowns don't count. Those were just preseason. Like, if two teams played, why did we have to look the worst out of the two? Jehoshaphat says, I didn't see a lot of motions like we do, and we didn't see no motions. There was none. The only time we motioned is when we did the reverse jet sweep or the real jet sweep. That's it. It's the only time we motioned. Only time we motioned. It's the only time we motioned last night. It's the only time. And to be honest with you, man, anybody that's saying relax is preseason, almost fell. Anybody that's saying relax is preseason, I'm gonna tell you, love your team more. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Because that's a lazy way of looking at stuff. That's like if your kid, it's like if your kid had an exhibition. If your kid had an exhibition basketball game and they just went out there and sucked. Like, this did not play good. And more importantly, let's not even talk about they didn't play good. They just didn't even run the plays right. Would you be over here telling your son, oh, because it's okay, son, it's just preseason? No, you would not. You would be in the drawing board saying, bruh, we got to get this thing better. Why? Because you can't do this when it counts. And we're not going to be under the assumption that we're just going to magically get better because it's regular season. And then think about this. You guys, a lot of y'all people who are saying we're going to be okay, you're saying that under the assumption that Zeke is going to be here. But what if Zeke ain't going to be here? Like, what if he really holds out? Then what happens? Then what happens? I'm curious. Then what happens? I want to know. Are we okay then? Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, if Zeke don't come back, we are not okay. We weren't okay. We didn't even need that preseason game to know that. But, yo, if Zeke don't come back, we are not okay. That's fact. No, I'm getting uptight like it's the first preseason game. You can only get uptight about the game that you watch. That's the only thing about it. Like, do you honestly think that NFL teams, I want to ask you guys a question, right? Do you guys honestly think that Jason Garrett and their team got onto that plane and said, hey guys, don't worry about this game. We're not even going to watch the film because it was only a preseason game. Do you honestly think that that's what happened, right? Do you honestly think that's what they did? Like, do you honestly think Jason Garrett got on that plane and was like, hey brothers, hey guys, don't worry. This is a preseason game. It doesn't even matter anyway. Do you honestly think they did that? Do you honestly think at the beginning of this game they said, hey guys, we're going to run a bunch of bad plays and not look good on offense because this is a preseason game and it doesn't matter? Do you honestly think they did that? Or do you think they honestly went at it like this may be one of my only opportunities to make this team, so I should need to do my best to play better? That's what I'm thinking. And to be honest with you, I'm not even knocking the players because guess what? Some of these guys have never even played in the NFL. It was their first game. But what I am knocking is the dudes who have been coaching in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And I'm knocking them dudes. Because guess what? For Scott Linehan, not Scott Linehan, but for Kellen Moore, this was not a preseason game, bro. This was an opportunity to show us that you could score, and you could not. Like, I don't care, bro. You had 6 opportunities to score touchdowns, and you came away with 3 field goals. But 4 field goals. 1 we missed. And you still got Brett Maher. It's funny, too, because you know what's so contradictory, too? This is what I'm going to say, too. And then I'm going to get off here. Let me tell you what's so why I know some of y'all just be contradicting yourself. Because I'm going to tell you that the offense didn't play good, and you're like, it's just preseason, calm down. But you're the same folks saying, oh, but Brett Maher has to go. But what are you talking about? He missed a field goal in a preseason game. It's just a field goal, bro. It's a preseason game. Oh, I thought it didn't count, though. Like, I thought it didn't count, though. So y'all want Brett Maher gone and want a new kicker because he missed a kick in a preseason game, but then you're going to give Kellen Moore a pass because it was a preseason game. Now, it doesn't work that way. If you're going to evaluate everybody, you got to evaluate everybody. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That is a fact. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jerry Jones, if you honestly think that after Tony P carrying the ball 4 times that you feel that he can do that for 16 games, you are senile. You're senile. You're delusional. Like, Jerry Jones is a freaking salesman. Like, if you don't already recognize that, like you just don't want to. You don't want to. Like, you're a person who's sick and the medicine is sitting right there on the table, but you refuse to take it. Like that's what I'm saying. This is my thing. If you're gonna complain about Mayor, then guess what? You need to complain about everybody. You need to compare about everybody. It's the same people that's saying Mayor suck and can't kick and need to go is the same people saying, oh, relax, West Coast. It's just a preseason game. Nah, bro, you can't have it both ways. Like, you got to pick one of them. Either it matters or it don't matter. If it matters, then guess what? We got some stuff to talk about. If it don't matter, then guess what? It don't matter. But it does matter. We know it matters. You want to know why? Because everybody that played last night got paid. That was not a free game. Hell you mean? It wasn't a free game for me. Was it a free game for you? It wasn't no free game for me. This was not. They shout out to the plug. The plug hooked it up too. I ain't gonna lie. Got me in this nice hotel over here. You know what I'm talking about? So, is there occurrence for concerns? Yes. 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 It is. And guess what? You know what's so funny? Had we would have looked good and had we would have played well, the whole world would have been saying, look, I told you we don't need Zeke. Look, see, I told you guys. It's so funny because preseason games only don't matter when you don't win them and you don't play well. That's the only time you hear people saying preseason games don't matter. That's the only time. The only time that you will hear someone saying that preseason games are preseason games and they don't matter is when their team did not play good. Like my boy says, Bob Heck way deeper than last night. You're right. Steve says bad comparison. It's always so easy to jump on somebody's feet and tell someone they had a bad comparison when you're not providing one. But that is one though. I think that's a very good comparison. Want to know why? Because you got the point of what I was trying to make. If you got the point, you can't tell me it was a bad comparison because it is. And most importantly, this may have been his first game calling plays in the NFL, but this was not his first time calling plays. He calls plays every day at practice. Just call the plays that you called at practice. Like that's my thing. Like that's my biggest thing with him, Scotland, with Kellen Moore is just call the plays that you call at practice. Just call the plays that you call at practice. That's what I'm saying. Just call those plays. Be good at calling the plays that you practice. We didn't even call plays that we practice. And to be honest with you, the middle of the field stuff, okay, whatever. That's going to be improved by Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. But guess what? Red zone. You need to be good. There is nothing beneficial between looking bad in the red zone. Nothing. Doesn't benefit you at all. That doesn't benefit you at all. Phil says it doesn't matter if Davidson don't sign Zeke, no playoffs or no championship run. Without Zeke, we're done. E. Kush says no, he didn't. He's inconsistent from under 40 and the easiest field holder to make. Jamez, I 100% agree with you on that one, brother. Like, if it's a 56-yarder, I think Mayer will make it. If it is a 35-26 regulatory kick, bro, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit nervous. Like, I'm a little bit nervous. Timothy says, even if we did win, we need our RB. We need backup quarterbacks. We need a better OC and better red zone offense, period. Jamez says, I'm learning. He says, it's learning tools. We have film to watch and things to work on. Cool, we got 4 weeks. Let's get it in and fix it. You absolutely right, brother. We got 3 more opportunities to fix this preseason. This preseason. We got 3 more opportunities to fix these. Because you got to think, we have 2 different teams. Because we have your preseason team that's comprised of 90 players. Then you have a regular season team that's going to comprise of 53. This preseason team, let's get it together. Like, let's get this offense looking good. Like, there's no reason for us to not look good in preseason. Like, we don't have to look good on anything else, but we should look good in the red zone on things that we're working on. Because if we're not looking good on the stuff that we're working on, are we really working on it? Are we improving? Are we really improving? Steve Gibson says their second-team players made our offense coaching look horrible. Exactly. And that's another thing that irritates me, too, is you got to think, bro, you're telling me you can't have superior play calling against a bunch of third and fourth stringers? Like, that's a little worrisome. What's up, bro? Tim Moore, what up? What you see? Red zone is my concern. Red zone is my concern too. But hey, man, I've been on here for an hour, y'all. I gotta get up out of here. I'm gonna be doing another show later on today. So make sure you guys tune in. Appreciate Cowboys Experience for hooking us up. Remember, if you guys are looking for the most exclusive Cowboy packages, make sure you inbox West Coast. I'll take care of you. We got ticket packages. I even got some single tickets, things that I can take care of you on too. So just inbox me. If you need it, I got you. I'm about to go over to Stanford, see my little cousin for a little bit. He's playing DB over there, my boy Trajon Butler. And I'm going to go see him for a couple minutes and then do a little walkthrough of the school. My daughter want to go there too, so we're going to do a little walkthrough of the campus. And then I'm going to get on this road, man, and take it back to the house. And then I will be doing a show later on tonight. I'll probably do a show later on today, but I'll for sure be doing my normal show in the morning, so make sure you guys tune into that. But yo, man, Felix says, West Coast, do you think we need a new coach? Ask me after the game. I just think we need better play calling, man. Just call better plays, bruh. Just come on, better situational stuff, man. But hey, you guys already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.